Hi, my name is Danielle Lowe. I'm trying to get used to this webcam recording, so please excuse me if I have a little mishaps here and there. I am a kindergarten teacher. I teach children that are coming into kindergarten learning English for the first time. So I have emerging and entering as well as transitional E&L students. So we do a lot of vocabulary building, and the kids pick it up really fast. So one of the things that I try to do is I try to also create tutorials, so this way I could share information with parents that are in my class also, as well as any parents that this might help. I myself am a visual learner, so I learn better not only auditorily by listening, but also by seeing. So hopefully this will help some of you to help your children. I do believe that key to success for all students is a very strong and positive collaboration or partnership between teacher and parents. So I think it's important, if you can, have a good relationship with your child's teacher and keep in touch with them. This way the child knows that you both care about them and they're going to rise to meet your expectations. I genuinely believe that. So please feel free to contact me anytime. I'm also going to post this on my babystepinc.org webpage, which is also for free resources for parents and educators or anybody that could benefit from the information. This is all free. I'm just trying to help others. Okay. Let me see. One of the things that I did want to talk about when you're starting kindergarten with your child, some of the kids are coming in with daycare and preschool experience, where other kids are coming in and they've never been in school before. So there are a few things that you can do to ease the transition. I would start an earlier bedtime, probably a few weeks before school starts, so this way they get on a set schedule. They should be going to bed. If they're getting up at 7 in the morning, young children require more sleep. So probably a 7 o'clock bedtime is an acceptable bedtime. Let me see, what else? Eating well, speaking about their feelings. So you want to talk to them if they're nervous about school. Find out what they're nervous about. Just so you can ease their anxiety, and also letting them know that school's a fun place. They're going to be learning new things and making lots of friends, and that they will go home and that you will pick them up, so this way there's no fear there as well. And consistency. So just always follow through on what you say that you're going to do. As a teacher, that's a #1 rule. Do not say it unless you're going to follow through. So if you say, as teachers, if you do that again, I'm going to have to call your parent, and then you don't follow through, they're going to not believe you in the future. I don't know if that's a grammatically correct sentence, but you get the point. So always be consistent as well. Okay, I'm going to move ahead to the Common Core for kindergarten. Basically what the Common Core is, for those that are not as familiar with it, or if this is your first child going into kindergarten, the Common Core learning standards are just a common set of expectations that each grade level has, so that no matter what state in the United States, if a child moves there, they have a common set of expectations at the end of kindergarten in, at this time, math and English language arts. So, for example, in the first, I'm going to do the overview for kindergarten for the whole year. One of the first topics is counting and cardinality. So counting, for example, at the end of kindergarten, a child should be able to count to 100 by ones and tens. So this way, if someone does move over the summertime and they start a new school year at first grade, that expectation before was that they should be able to count to 100 by ones and by tens. So they are good because they give a common set of expectations that can be shared with teachers, with parents, with administrators. It's a common point that we're trying to get to. Okay, so for counting cardinality, one of the things, and I'm actually looking right on a website that I had just printed off. It's really simple. I will share that on the bottom as well. It says knows the number, names, and counting sequence. So in the beginning of the kindergarten school year, you might want to just take regular index cards. I think I have some here. Small index cards are fine. So you might just want to take a small index card and just write the numbers 0 through 5 on each one. So that you can share with them and put it down. So I don't know if you could see that. I just put number 2, really simple, but just 0 to 5 initially. If your child has mastered that, then just do 0 to 10. And once again, if they've mastered that, then you can keep on building up the increments. At the end of kindergarten, they're expected to write the numbers from 0 to 20. And it's pretty common that kids reverse their numbers. So they might write a 2 instead of looking that way, like, let me see, I have to think about this. They might write a 2 that looks like that, and that's completely normal. Reversals in numbers and letters is pretty normal up until possibly the end of kindergarten, with lots of modeling and giving them a resource guide to go to that will eventually flip over. So you might want to bring their attention to it and let them correct it on their own. So maybe just having a number line out that just has the numbers, let's see, well, it's not called a number line anymore. I think it's a number path. But let's see, 0, 1, 2, 3. And at first I'd probably do 0 to 5. And then once again, once they are comfortable with that, then you can keep on going to 10. So this way, if the child does have this out on their desk, sorry, I'm still getting used to this webcam, and they make a 2 that's backwards, you can then point to it and say, take a look at that 2. How is that different from yours? Can you try to make yours look like that? So it's just a strategy that will help them, because then this way they're not being told with the big red X that this is wrong, but you're guiding them to where they can look so that they can do it independently. Counting out objects is another one. So at first I would probably just start with 3 objects depending on where your child is. So perhaps giving them, I'm really not prepared, but luckily I have lots of stuff on my desk. You might want to start with 3 paper clips, okay? And just put them out and just say, okay, can you count how many paper clips I have here? And if they say 1, 5, 6, then just show them, okay, let's count with me. And I'm not sure if I'm doing this the right way over here. You'll say 1, 2, 3, okay? Or you can start at 1, what comes next? 2, good, do you know what this one is? 3, good. Now let's mix these up and put them in a different kind of design. I know that these are not easy to see, I apologize. And then show them again that it's still 3. Just because it's in a different orientation, it's still the quantity 3. And developmentally, that will take them a while to figure out, so don't get frustrated, just keep on repeating it. Once they're fine with 3, then move it up to 5, then move it up to 7. So slowly move it up. What you do not want to do is ever frustrate them. So if you notice that they're having trouble with the counting strategy, for example, if they're having trouble counting to 5, don't move up. Maybe bring it back a little bit. Go back to 4 so that you can build up their self-confidence. And then while they're doing other things around the house, start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do something that makes that 5 different, so it's going to stick out in their memory a little bit longer. Also, when they're brushing their teeth, just count, as high as you can. See if you can brush your teeth till I get to 20. Good. Now see if you can brush your teeth till I get to 30, because the more that they hear it, the more it's going to go into their memory as well. Jack Hartman is a wonderful resource. Check him out, jackhartman.com. He has loads of videos and CDs that are for math, ELA, rhyming, science, everything. But his Moving to Math CD is awesome. I highly recommend it. And it's all songs that get the kids moving, and it helps them to remember those different counting strategies as well. Okay, and the last part for counting in Cardinale as an overview for the year is comparing numbers. And comparing numbers, of course they have to understand that this numeral is a 2. So first, probably what I would also start with, when you're actually doing the number of objects, you might want to do this. Because they have to understand that this is a 2 before they realize that this is the symbol that represents the number 2. So over here, I would probably start with these quantities first, because if they don't understand this, they might get that this symbol equals 2, but they're not really going to understand what the whole concept is yet. Once again, that's developmental, and that will come with time. So you could even just do dot cards on index cards. maybe 1 through 5, and maybe a blank card for 0. Okay, and then once you have that, good thing index cards come in a 100 pack, you might want to do this at first. So here's 2, and here's 5. Okay, can you point to the one that it has more? Good. Can you point to the one that's less? And then later, the one that's equal. And equal means on both sides it's the same. Once they have this, then change it to the numerals, a 2 and a 5. Which one is more? Which one is less? And later on, we could say how many more do we need to make that. But right now, as a starting point, that's just a good overview for counting and cardinality as an overview for the school year. I can probably, or I will probably go more into depth on another link, so feel free to check that out. And I hope that this was helpful. Feel free to contact me anytime. Thanks.